Good morning. This is Eugene Taylor with Conyers Hope, and today we're going to talk about the learning pyramid and retention while learning. There are various methods that a learner can engage in, which will allow him to learn information at various percentages of retention. And we want to be conscious of that because we have several mentoring styles that we'll use. One is on Mondays, we'll use our corporate mentoring, and that's motivational, it's inspirational, and it's observational. During our A schedule, during the week, we'll have one-on-one mentoring, and it's geared specifically to that individual. They'll be on their own mentoring schedule. Then on our B week, we'll have group mentoring. And as we come together with these sessions and these different styles of mentoring, and you're operating as a learning facilitator, I want you to be conscious of different methods that we can use for excellent retention with the mentees. One of the things that attachments that I've sent you on today, it's called the learning pyramid. And the learning pyramid, it basically talks about, it was actually created by the National Training Laboratories in Battelle, Maine. And it illustrates the percentage that a learner recall that is associated with the various approaches. So you have different levels of learning. And it's very interesting because when a person sits down and they listen to a lecture, they normally retain about 5% of that information. When a person reads, they normally retain about 10% of that information. When a person hears an audio-visual, they normally retain about 20% of that information. When a person experiences a demonstration, they normally retain about 30% of that information. Now, these four levels that I just spoke of, they're called passive teaching methods. Passive teaching methods. And you'll note on the learning pyramid that the passive teaching methods, they hold a lower level of retainability. When a person is just sitting back and listening and watching you, they don't retain as much. Not saying they don't retain anything, but they don't retain as much. But I want you to look at the other three levels. You have group discussion. Well, when a person is involved in a group discussion, they normally retain about 50% of what they learn. Did you hear what I said? When they're listening to a lecture, they receive 5%. When they're involved in a group discussion, they retain 50% of what they've learned. Watch this. When they practice it by doing what they heard or what they were involved in, they retain 75%. So they listen to you teach, then they practice it out or illustrate it out, and they're involved in that process, they retain 75%. Now, this is proven research. Also, when they teach others or use it immediately, when they teach others like they've learned and that they teach it to other individuals, they retain 90% of what they have learned. Now, these last three levels, which group discussion, practice by doing, and teaching others, is called active learning or participatory learning. When they participate in the teaching process or the learning process, they retain much more. Whenever you engage an adult listener and participatory learning, they're gonna the retainability rate. It just shoots off the roof. They retain so much more. So this applies to our corporate group mentoring. This applies to our one-on-one sessions. Yes, our one-on-one sessions. We want to make sure our one-on-one sessions are not just the mentee coming in, sitting in with you and just listening, but even in the one-on-one sessions, they can operate in participatory learning. Watch this. Our group sessions, when we have our group sessions, and in our group sessions, for the most part, on the B schedule, we'll be covering life skills. Life skills are going to be a very important part of our program. And on our B schedule, that's what we'll definitely be covering. The 5 life skills that we're going to be focusing on is communication skills, decision-making skills, goal-setting skills, and conflict resolution skills, and knowing how to ask for help skills. It's very important. Those are the 5 areas that we will cover during our B schedule. So just be conscious as we cover these 3 different aspects of learning: the corporate group mentoring, our A schedule, which includes our one-on-one mentoring, and our B schedule, which includes the group mentoring, that we want to move toward active learning or participatory learning. If we do that, the mentees will retain much, much more. All right, well, I'm Eugene Taylor for Conyers Hope Mentoring. I have attached a copy of the Learning Pyramid so that you can you can understand the concept, and I believe it'll help us so much. So once again, Eugene Taylor for Conyers Hope Mentoring. Hope, helping other people excel. You have a wonderful day, and we'll be back with you soon.